What is up, guys? Welcome to a very special video. So this video is all about destroying the employee mindset, and it's an excerpt from our paid program, which is the 9 to 5 Survival Guide. Awesome program. And again, I'm going to be taking an excerpt from the very first module. It's a 5-chapter program. It's amazing. It's all about how to escape your 9 to 5 and create a, whether that's a side hustle or a secondary income, or completely replace your primary income doing something you love. That's what the program is all about. So let's get right on into it. Destroy the employee mindset. Before we start, let's take a look at the life of most people. Life timeline. Well, first, you're a baby. You're tiny. You're 0 to 4. You don't really know much, right? That's you. You're the baby. You're full of potential, endless possibilities, 100% pure and undamaged, coming out questionable. Then you become a kid, right? From 4 to 12, what are you doing? You're full of dreams. You're playful and joyful. You're discovering the world. Then you become a teenager. And what are you doing? You're rebellious. You are full of energy. You are challenging reality. Then you become the student. What are you doing? You are taking on responsibilities. You are learning. You are understanding duty and compromise. And you're accepting a role for yourself within the society as a certain type of person. And after this point, something happens. You have to get a real job, right? You come out of school and you have to get a real job. And here, the employee begins. And you feel like you're just burdened with work, right? What are you doing? You're going to your 9 to 5 job, you have your dreadful routine, and you have your boring, unsatisfied life, and you're exchanging that for dollars, and you're wondering if there's something better out there for you. And that's disappointing, because then, if you're lucky, by the time that you're 50, you're an executive, and sure, you have your status, you have your higher income, and you have your comp package, and you're locked into your position. But before you even realize it, life slowly starts to become boring. All your dreams start to fade away, and your passion is completely gone. The result? Well, sadness. And what about after that? Well, the elder. And, the way that you live late in life is very indicative of the way that you live your whole life. Are you wise and passionate and full of hope for the future? Or are you cynical and skeptical and one of those old people that just bags on everything all the time? So when did you let your dreams die? For most people, it happens right here. Going from that educational stage to that occupational stage, they pick whatever occupation comes up because they got to pay the bills, and then they end up stuck there for a long time, doing something that they don't genuinely enjoy. Now, you might not realize this, but you might be stuck in a loop. Oh, that alarm buzzing in the morning, waking up, not feeling great, brushing your teeth, rushing to work, stuck in traffic, boring job, getting distracted, angry boss, frustration, working extra long hours, grabbing fast food, watching TV, sitting on social media, having anxiety about the next day, sleeping in, cycle repeats over and over and over and over again. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The question is, what makes you believe that you'll ever break out? What makes you think that you would ever break out? Charles Bukowski said it best. How could a man enjoy being awakened at 6:30 in the morning by an alarm clock, leap out of bed, dress, force feed, and fight traffic to get to a place where essentially you made lots of money for somebody else and were asked to be grateful for the opportunity to do so? Now, that's a bit of the rebellious component to that 9 to 5 mentality. And if you've expressed frustrations about your own position, then you probably resonate with this. So if you want to free yourself from the 9 to 5 and escape that employee mentality of trading your time for money, what you need to do first is reclaim your 6 resources. Your emotional resources of feeling at one and centered within yourself, your mental resources and mental capacity to be able to execute on something that you truly believe in, your monetary resources so that you feel supported and as if your financial future is not in danger from any decision that you make, the resources of your time so that you can actually apply yourself appropriately within your business, social resources such as relationships and friends, and your energy resources so that you can restore and rekindle and refire your ability to do something different. If you're currently stuck in that 9 to 5 mentality and you're like, I can't get out, the number one thing you need to look at is how you're spending the resources that you already have. How are you really spending your money? Are you using your money in a way that's going to help you improve your situation? Are you spending your time in a way that's going to help you improve your current situation? What about the relationships? Are you establishing new relationships, forming new partnerships? Or are you sitting, watching TV, playing Madden, and hoping that life changes for you? Because the reality that most people don't realize is they are trapped inside of the consumption machine, complete with distractions, complete with vices, luxuries, and hyper realities that are meant to distract us from our true passion, because we might just become too powerful. And guess what? Powerful people are more difficult to control. So let's take a look at these, this consumption machine and the way that it's structured, because I think it's really important. So like distractions, right? What's the outcome of distractions? Well, your mental capital and your emotional capital. Like, some people who are like more invested in TV shows than they are in their own life or in their own success. Yeah, perfect example of a distraction, right? TV, movies, video games. Like, there's nothing wrong with a good movie, but if you're using that as escapism, then you're really shows that you're not on your purpose in your life. And the fuel for that is boredom, right? If you don't have a passion, you don't have a purpose, you don't have something that you're pursuing, of course you're going to fall victim to these. And of course, something on the television is going to be more interesting than your real life. Luxuries. What? Nothing wrong with nice things, but again, it's something that takes up money capital and attention capital. Excessive spending, if you want nice things, if you want to go buy an AP or a Patek and you can afford it, or a luxury car and you can afford it, or a great piece of real estate and you can afford it, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about buying luxuries outside of your means with excessive spending, toxic debt, seeking status as the core validation, because the fuel for that is self-image, because you've not created a powerful internal sense of self. Now you're looking for external objects to validate who you are and what you've been able to accomplish. And the fuel for that is self-image. Because you haven't created a powerful internal self-image for yourself, you are now dependent on these other factors outside yourself to define who you are and whether or not you've accomplished what you were meant to accomplish. Vices, fuel is addiction, super easy. Alcohol, drugs, junk food, right? Drains your energetic capital, drains your physical capital, attacks your body, makes you weaker. And hyper realities that are fueled by escapism, like social media, daydreaming about somebody else's life, fandom and icon worship, video games, time capital, relationship capital. We all know the archetype of the video game nerd that sits there, plays video games, and doesn't have any actual meaningful relationship in his life. So if you're falling to any of these, there's a pretty good chance that the consumption machine has captured you and gotten you. Look, we're all in some capacity in this environment. You don't necessarily need to, not go watch movies or not go buy nice things or, never drink. Like, that's not what I'm talking about at all, or never play video games. That's not what I'm talking about at all. You need to be aware of the way that these actions are affecting your ability to execute at the highest level. If you're currently in a 9-to-5 and you're doing these, what you have to understand is you could be building a business instead. And if you end up falling victim to these factors, but you don't end up building the life that you want, the only person you have to blame is yourself, because you are spending your most precious resources of time, energy, attention, focus. And there's something to be said for being able to do things when you're younger rather than older. With the compounding effect, you're really shooting yourself in the foot if you're deprioritizing escaping that 9-to-5 reality or escaping that contractor reality or not improving your business. This isn't just for 9-to-5ers, like this is for entrepreneurs too. What is the opportunity cost of a missed hour or a missed day or a missed week? Right? It's pretty massive. Now that doesn't mean don't go have experiences, go have those experiences if you can afford it, but make sure your business is functional, because the consumption machine has been created by capitalist marketers just like ourselves to get you bought in, to get you complacent, to have mass indoctrination. I want you to check this out. I think you're gonna find this really interesting. So the process is work, rest, consume, repeat. Work, rest, consume, repeat. Work, rest, consume, repeat. The more people that we can get to do that, and the more that we can keep them distracted and indoctrinated with distractions, luxuries, vices, hyper realities, the more that we can control them. And that outcome is what? People are dependent, people are obedient, people are asleep, people are numb. If you've ever struggled with entrepreneurship socially, this is the reason why, because the system is created this way in part by entrepreneurs sometimes, because it's a capitalistic system that incentivizes free market economy and rewards output. So of course, the people that are creating the movies should benefit from creating the movies because they're serving a need in the market for attention, for that escapism. That makes a lot of sense. So how do you actually escape? This is what I call the employee trifecta. The first are fears and overcoming those fears. The first fear is that fear of failure, feeling like if you take the risk, you're gonna fail and you'll be mocked and you'll be ridiculed and you'll view yourself as a failure. The second is the fear of success, of overcoming that idea that you could actually have a great life. What if you actually took the action and got the result and that came out amazing? Believe it or not, you might actually be subconsciously afraid of that, because now that you're successful, what do you do next? And the third fear is the fear of isolation, in that through that process, you will isolate yourself from society or from people that resonate with you, and you'll find yourself alone. And that's a core human primal instinct that people want to avoid. The second part is to overcome excuses of safety. If I never actually step up in my career, if I never go for that raise, well, my boss will give me that raise anyway. What happens? He gives it to somebody else because he didn't take the initiative, because he played it too safe. Comfort, same thing. Getting lazy, getting sloppy, failing to over deliver is just as well as not delivering sometimes, because you have to understand, if somebody asks about you, hey, what do you think of so-and-so? You want that response to be, yo, that guy is amazing. You can't wait to work with him. It's gonna be a pleasure to work with. That's the only result that you want, and comfort keeps you out of that. And the third is the excuse of consistency, is showing up for a day or two and then dropping the ball and saying, well, I showed up, I'm done. No, the top players are never done. Look at Steph Curry, look at Tom Brady, look at Messi. These guys are showing up every single day consistently because they know that it's a competitive sport, and business is no different. And the third is pressures, internal pressure to perform that can turn into negative pressure and self-attack, external pressure to perform that can often feel suffocating, and financial pressure that can put you in a scarcity mentality instead of an abundance mentality. Those are the 3 core pillars of the 9 things that you need to attack in order to overcome, so that you can start taking the action you need to and actually be able to evaluate risk correctly so that you can build a great business or escape your 9-to-5 reality. And again, this has been an excerpt from a paid training that we did all about how to escape your 9-to-5. It's called the 9-to-5 Survival Guide. If you're in a 9-to-5 and you're kind of doing something with your day that you don't really feel passionate about, you've always thought that there was more out there for you, hopefully this excerpt helped you see like the quality of that training. And this is just chapter 1 of 5 chapters, and I only took excerpts out of it. I didn't go through the whole chapter. I just wanted to share that with you because I think so many people, when they're stuck in that mentality of, hey, I have to earn a living and I have to pay my bills, they don't take the risks, and as a result, they end up regretting it. And likewise, sometimes people take the risk without the appropriate skills, and then they end up resenting that too. So if you need help with any of that, if anything in here resonated with you, I highly recommend click the link down below, get the 9-to-5 Survival Guide. You're absolutely going to love it. It's going to blow you away. There's so much in there that is actionable and meaningful and impactful immediately. I think you're really going to love it. So click the link down below, check it out. And if you want to see more business-related content about leadership, about how to build a great company, subscribe to the channel and comment down below. Where do you find yourself right now? Are you a student who's waiting to get into the workforce? Are you someone who's in a job and you love your job? Some people love their job and go, hey, you know what? I don't need to escape my 9-to-5. I'm good. Let us know, what do you love most about your job? Maybe there's great benefits. Maybe the employer treats you really well. Maybe there's a great culture. Maybe you're really passionate about the product. We'd love to hear about that as well. Maybe you are in a 9-to-5 and you're not happy, and this is something that triggered something for you and helped you take that first step, take that next step to freedom. Awesome. Or maybe you're an entrepreneur or a manager, and this helped you actually understand people's incentives in a way that helps you lead your team better and take your company to new heights, because that's what we want to see for you. We want to see you guys shine. We want to see you guys grow. This has been Mikhail. Thank you so much for taking time to watch this video. Comment down below what you loved most, any takeaways, and anything that you want to see a video about in the future. And I will see you in the next one.